Your child one of these names, it is likely to be mispronounced, but that is only because these names have multiple accepted pronunciations. There's a really big emphasis right now on parents choosing names that are easy to say, but as someone who chose a name that needs clarification, I have to say it's not terrible, and once you commit to doing it, it's just a part of life. Let's start with my girl names that have multiple pronunciations. The top one is so tricky for me. I find it's best to just ask, do you pronounce your name Alicia or Elisa or Alicia? In my head, Amelia is 3 syllables, but I feel like some people will use 4. Amelia. And then we have Cara or Kara. Honestly, both are great. You will just have to reinforce it. This next name represents all the names with that Lena ending. It could be Elena or Alina. And then we have Haley or Hallie. And you might say, well, that's the Haley spelling. Trust me, people will use them interchangeably. We have names like this. Also think Caroline. So we have Madeline, or is it Madeline, or is it Madeline? We have Mia, who could also be pronounced Maya. And yes, you're like, well, spell it M-A-Y-A. But I literally had my aunt this year. She's a high school teacher. She said she had 4 different pronunciations and spellings of this one name. And is it Regan or Reagan? Because guess what? Both work. Romilly or Romilly. I don't care how you pronounce the full name, but if she doesn't have an adorable nickname of either Millie or Romy, I'm mad. Finally, most people pronounce this Selah, but I think people also use Sela. Moving to my boy list, this felt trickier to compile because there was less discrepancies within name pronunciations. Wanted to find names that actually had multiple ways to say them, not a name like, if you say Killian, but you pronounce it Cillian, that's just plain wrong. This first name is kind of a regional one. You can go by Antony or Anthony. Next name is probably supposed to be said Cassius, but people do use Cassius. We have Elio or Elio, both are used. These next 2 might just be a matter of lazy Americans. Because if you ask my husband, Graham is a 2-syllable word. I'd probably say Graham. Same with Jeremy or Jeremy. Another regional one, it just depends where you're from. You might say Louis or Louis. This one's confusing to me because I can't really say the other pronunciation. I say Mario. I think some people say Mario. Right? This name is supposed to be Orion, but people will say Orion. And we have the masculine version of my name, which can be confusing. Is it Stefan or Steven? Both are correct. This one depends on your culture, I think. You could say Javier, you could say Xavier, or you could just say Xavier. Tell me which names I missed and tell me which ones are hard for you to say.